So over the past year, I've been experimenting with different training routines and different training styles to actually see what would be the most helpful on a fat loss phase, right? So I was judging it based on how my strength was doing, how my recovery was, how my overall energy was, how mentally fatigued I was. And basically, I'm going to talk about two different training styles that I've stuck to for a while and kind of describe the pros and the cons that I experienced. And then you can kind of decide which one you kind of want to try and maybe stick to. And so first, I was doing the the recommended lower intensity, higher volume, so that you just keep the same muscle stimulus to maintain muscle mass. The whole point on a fat loss phase is that you keep as much muscle as you can. There's still a little amount that you're going to lose. Sometimes we overestimate the amount of muscle that we lose because we lose a lot of our glycogen stores just from being in a calorie deficit. And so your muscles are going to look more flat, especially if your carbs are really, really low. Then your muscles will look flat a lot of the time. So you think your muscles are decreasing in size, whereas they just need more glycogen. If you just like took a day or a few days to really eat a lot of carbs, your muscles will pump up like crazy the next few days. And so at first I was trying just lowering my intensity, but keeping the volume the same or even going a bit higher. Okay, and I was hitting around 5 days a week. I wasn't really trying 6 days a week of training because I just knew my recovery wasn't going to be great. Now the thing is, it was fine. I was recovering from it, from hitting 5 times a week. But the issue was my strength was slowly going down month by month, right? And then as soon as like September started, I actually switched it up and I wanted to kind of get my weights back. Like I was getting like uh, a lot of fear about like my strength going down, which I felt like, which I mean, at some level, if it's minimal, it's fine because again, calorie deficit recovery is not going to be the same. You don't have the same amount of glycogen in your stores for energy, and so at some level, it's gonna like decrease a little bit, but it shouldn't be super sharp in any sense unless like you're going super low calories, then it makes more sense. But if you're going on a moderate calorie deficit, then as long as you're doing it right, you should not have any serious problem with strength. And so I tried switch it up, and instead of going low intensity, high volume, I actually went high intensity, low volume. You've probably seen Jeff Nippard advocate for this. And so it was around the same time, I think, where I was like, oh, I want to just like kind of train lower reps, but just higher intensity, and I want to try getting my weights back up, right? And people usually don't advise people to go on that type of training style on a weight loss phase because it's just going to be harder for recovery because you're lifting harder weights. And so it's not going to be just more fatiguing to your muscles, but also to your connective tissues and to your joints, right? Like imagine bench pressing, whatever, 400 pounds is going to put a lot of strain on your wrists, on your elbows, on your shoulders, all the joints kind of involved, and also just on all the ligaments and tendons in those areas as well. And so I've been doing this type of style. It's like early December now. So I've been doing it for around 3 months. And the biggest advantage is just my weights were starting to go up a little bit. My strength is actually going up like a few weeks at a time, right? Nothing drastic, but it's kind of getting back to like, kind of close to like my peak bulk lifts. So my bench press was going up, my squat slowly starting to go up. And it just makes sense because I'm not hitting the same amount of reps. And so I'm only hitting 2 sets and I'm going max 10 reps, but usually like 4 to 8 reps, kind of like 6 to 8 on most lifts. And I make them super hard. Like I go to either 1 rep in reserve or just go to failure on most of my sets. And so I can walk into a workout, hit maybe only eight hard sets, and then I'm out. But I feel great. I don't feel like I'm super fatigued because I've hit a lot of volume. My recovery has been great. I wouldn't say that it's sustainable for a long, long time because, again, fat loss also isn't sustainable for a long time. So I would probably go back to higher reps, a bit lower intensity as I finish my fat loss phase. But just that, I feel like if I was to go for like another month or 2 months, I feel like my joints would really start to feel the effects of it. But again, that's why you have deload weeks kind of every 2 months, well, it's recommended every 6 to 8 weeks. So around every 2 months, maybe around every 3 months, you should have 1 week where you're like doing active rest. Maybe you're just hitting really super low intensity, or you're just like hitting body weight exercises. Just something to recover yourself mentally from just like training, mental fatigue, and also physically from all the training that you're doing, so that when you get back to it, you can actually feel like you want to go to the gym and your body's telling you that it's ready for the gym as well. But yeah, I've been doing this high intensity, low volume training style where I'm just hitting 2 sets per exercise instead of like 3, and I used to hit even 4 for a lot of my exercises. But it's been great. My strength feels like it's going up. My lifts in terms of numbers are going up, and it makes sense logically, but it just feels great psychologically to see more weight moving. It just feels like you're getting stronger, right? Which feels amazing. What if you're losing weight and gaining strength at the same time? But yeah, it's been great. I would recommend you at least try it, maybe for a week, just see how it is. And if you don't like it, just go back to your low intensity, high volume. But overall, they both can work. But it's just that psychologically, I needed that boost of like just seeing more weight being moved. It really helps me to like stay on track more, like actually want to go to the gym and have great workouts. Because at some point, when I was just doing a lot of volume, like I wasn't really going super hard on my sets, knowing I had 2 more after this. Whereas if I don't only have 2, there's only so many sets that I can make the most of, right? Whereas if I'm doing, let's say you're doing 4 sets, right? If I'm doing on my first set, I'm not going to go super hard because I'm going to have to conserve energy for 3 more. That means you're not progressive overloading. And there's a chance that you actually might be going too light, or your intensity might be too low to actually maintain your muscle mass. And so it depends how your psychology works, I guess, and what training style you actually work best with. But I definitely just consider trying both out for a few weeks at a time and kind of then deciding what you want to go on. But right now I'm just sticking to my high intensity, low volume. I love it for now, so I'm not going to fix so it's not broken for me. If you want to learn more on exactly how to eat healthy while still losing weight, then just click the first link in the description. It's my course that teaches you to do all of that, and I'll see you there.